Hello, everyone. Sophia here, and welcome back to Finding My Way. I can't stop smiling because even though it's the beginning of February, I can already see God moving in ways that I never expected. And you know what? I'm learning sometimes the hard way that God's timing outweighs ours. It can be frustrating when you're waiting, when you feel stuck, when you think you've done everything right and still have nothing to show for it. But I'm realizing something. Delays are not denials. They're often divine redirections. And trust me, I fought against that truth for a long time. Last time, I left you with how I planned to pick myself back up, how I buried my feelings, eager to close a chapter that I never wanted to revisit. If I had my way, I would have locked that door, thrown away the key, and never ever looked back. But God had different plans. And stubborn as I was not ready to listen. I thought I was in control. I thought that I knew the formula. Work hard, follow the steps, and success will come. So I made UX design my sole focus. It made sense. I had worked on an app. I understood how to implement features. So why not be a part of designing? I reached out to mentors. I built a portfolio, networked in the design community. I did all the quote unquote right things. But looking back, I realized something was missing. I never stopped to ask God if this was where I was meant to be. And honestly, I was scared too. Because what if the answer wasn't what I wanted to hear? What if I had invested all this time, energy, and effort into something that wasn't for me? So I did what a lot of us tend to do. I kept pushing forward, hoping that eventually I'd feel like I belonged. Then I found a UX design fellowship. It was free. And I was convinced that this was my big break. This was going to be it. I poured everything into it, believing that it would lead me to my next role. But when it ended, instead of a full-time job, it led me to basically be a volunteer. And here's where things got tricky for me. I needed a paycheck. I knew that. But I told myself that looking good on paper was more important than actually being fulfilled. So I put my financial needs on hold, thinking that if I just stuck it out for a little longer, things would eventually fall into place. Spoiler alert, they did not. After that, I landed another freelance role through a small organization. This time, they told me I'd have to work for free on my first project before getting paid. And for some reason, I said yes. Maybe it was desperation. Maybe it was the fear of starting over. Maybe, I don't know, I just wasn't thinking clearly. But whatever it was, I stayed. And let me tell you, it was rough. The communication was terrible. The client was frustrated. I was doing everything I could to prove myself, but deep down, I knew I wasn't happy, not even a little bit. And that's when reality hit me. I had spent so much time trying to convince myself I was on the right path that I had never stopped to ask why I wasn't thriving. Why did I feel like I was so drained? Why nothing ever felt like it was enough? And when I finally stopped running, when I finally got quiet enough to listen, I realized the problem wasn't the jobs, it was me. I was operating from a place of fear, of scarcity. I was afraid to admit that maybe just maybe, I wasn't supposed to be in UX design after all. Because if I admitted that, what would that mean? That I had wasted time? That I had failed? That I had nothing to show for? But here's what I know now. Nothing is wasted when God is involved. Even when we take detours, even when we try to force things that aren't meant for us, God can still use those experiences to shape us. And I can see that now, clear as day. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the moments that break us, the detours that we never planned for, and the incredible ways that God redirects us, even when we're too stubborn to see it. Because trust me, I've been there, and maybe, just maybe, you have too. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to Finding My Way, and please share this with a friend who might need the reminder that God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't feel like it. I can't wait to continue this journey with you. Until next time, take care.